Judge ruled that neither side was able to establish, quote, when the relationship evolved into a romantic one, but an odor of mendacity remains. Joining me now, Jesse Weber, attorney and anchor for the Law and Crime Network, also a NewsNation legal contributor, and Misty Marris, trial attorney and legal analyst. All right, so Misty, first to you, any surprises to you here?
You know, I thought this was a nice middle-of-the-road decision. So, on one hand, the standard that was applied, remember, there were two competing standards. One, the defense said anything that looks like impropriety means she's off the case. Prosecutor's office is out. The prosecution said, well, it has to be directly related to the actual indictment. Here, the judge said, look, nothing's related to the actual indictment, so they can stay. But one of them has to go because it certainly does not pass the smell test.
Right. It sure seems, Jesse, like the judge doesn't believe that this relationship started in 2022 when they said, but he's saying basically that's not quite enough to get us there.
Yeah, which is not surprising. I mean, the idea of when you talk about did Fani Willis have this kind of personal stake in not only having Nathan Wade be on there and prosecuting Donald Trump, but continuing the prosecution, it never rose to that level. I'm so happy that he put in the kind of emphasis about that you have to have prosecutors held to a higher standard, that there are serious lapses in judgment. Bad choices, which he acknowledged are happening here, doesn't mean it's a conflict of interest.
But it does mean she lied under oath, right? I mean, if the judge doesn't believe, again, does that mean that a case against someone should be dismissed? I don't know, but it does mean that he thinks she lied under oath if he believes that.
Well, I think that the inquiry doesn't really end here with this particular hearing. Fani Willis has a lot of other issues to answer for ethically, professional responsibility, and inquiries by the government.
And the judge actually says that in the ruling, too.
But he also says you can't believe necessarily Terrence Bradley, who was a big witness in this case. About when he said there was another witness who said the relationship started before he was hired. He goes, look, believable, but not a lot of context. He basically said, we're never really going to know when this relationship started, but the public is going to look at this and say there are a lot of problems here.
One of the things that the judge was not happy about was this speech that Fani Willis gave in January. I have focused on it on this show. I just could not believe that she did this. It was, let me play, this is number 17. This is Fani Willis at a church speech in January.
They only attacked women. I hired one white woman, a good personal friend and great lawyer. A superstar, I tell you. I hired one white man, brilliant, my friend, and a great lawyer. And I hired one black man, another superstar, a great friend, and a great lawyer. Oh Lord, they're gonna be mad when I call them out on this nonsense. First thing they say, oh, she gonna play the race card now. But no, God, isn't it them who's playing the race card when they only question one?
One of the dumbest things I've ever seen a prosecutor do. And the judge then said about that, the effect of this speech was to cast racial aspersions at an indicted defendant's decision to file this pretrial motion. However, the speech did not specifically mention any defendant by name, although not improvised or inadvertent. It also did not address the merits of the indicted offenses in an effort to move the trial itself to the court of public opinion. So basically, you know, the judge saying dumb, but not going to be something where it's going to lead me to dismiss the charge.
Well, he kept saying, who's they? Who's the they you're referring to? And, you know, that's the problem. He said that's the danger of a prosecutor like this, a public official, making these kinds of public comments in one of the biggest prosecutions we've ever seen in American history. So, I mean, again, it might not have risen to the level where she's disqualified, but he has to call it out.
You have the attorneys for the Trump co-defendants announcing that they're going to exhaust all of their legal remedies here. What can they do from here, even specifically with regard to this ruling?
Yeah, no doubt there's going to be an appeal. So what they're going to ask for is an immediate review, meaning this can go right to the appeals court. It's called an interlocutory appeal. That means the appeal is heard before the trial actually takes place. Now, there's only certain categories of appellate issues that will be heard at this time in an interlocutory appeal. Those that are dispositive of the case, meaning something that really impacts guilt or innocence, where there's likely to be substantial error, or a case that the appellate division would like to take up to clarify a legal standard.
So do you think that they're going to take do you think that, A, the judge is going to give them permission to sort of hold off on everything pending the appeal? And B, do you think the appellate court's going to hear it?
I actually think that the judge will give permission. I think it could fall under that substantial error category, and I think that would be the argument. Whether the appellate division takes it up, I think depends on that third prong. Do they want to clarify the standard for conflict of interest?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.